Hello, for today's video, we are going to talk about Justice by yours truly, May Escar Cuevas and John Lloyd Carrion, Chapter 6, Lesson 1A. So, for the introduction for this, the term justice is derived from the Latin word justitia, which means joining or fitting, or of bound or tie. It has to coordinate and draw a harmonious balance between rights and duties of the people living in the society. It is connected with the moral, social, economic, political, and legal relations of an individual with others. The concept of justice has been analyzed and defined differently by philosophers, political thinkers, economists, sociologists, and religious leaders. Justice is a concept of moral rightness based on ethics, rationality, law, religion, equity, and fairness. And lastly, John Rawls claims that justice is the first virtue of social institution, as truth is of systems of thought. So these are the three people with different definitions about justice. First, Charles Edward Merriam. He said that justice consists of a system of understanding and procedures through which each is accorded what is agreed upon as fair. Next, Barker. He said that justice is the reconciler and the synthesis of political values. It is their union in an adjusted and integrated whole. And lastly, Saint Simon. He said that justice from each according to his capacity, to each according to his need. So as we can see, they really have a different point of view about what is justice. In addition, it is difficult to give a precise meaning of the term justice. Political thinkers and jurists had given different meanings and definitions. The reason for this is that the contents and implications of justice differ from country to country and also from time to time. So what was justice in the past is not justice in the present day. Therefore, it is difficult to define justice. In the ordinary sense, justice means to give an aggrieved party what is due to it and punish an individual or a group of individuals or an agency whenever offense is committed. In the narrow sense, meaning of justice is associated with a legal system and legal process in a society. In this sense, it is related to the settlement of disputes through judicial bodies. A man living in society is attached to another man in one way or the other. This relationship has few rights and duties attached to it. When a man, while enjoying his rights, also fulfills his duty and behaves in an appropriate manner with others, then he is said to be doing justice. So justice is the legal or philosophical theory by which fairness is administered. The concept of justice differs in every culture. Okay, moving on. Characteristics of justice. First, human welfare. It is generally referring to allocation or resources to feed the well-being of humans. If high standard of well-being is to be maintained, the concerns for a healthy environment must be balanced against requirements of economic growth. Next, ethical concept. It ranges from the fair treatment of individuals to the equitable allocation of healthcare dollars and resources. Next, ethical concept, injustice. It is a quality of being changeable or having a marked tendency to change. Next, fulfillment of reasonable interest. performance of duties to provide everybody his reasonable share. And lastly, justice is related to values prevailing in society. In addition, justice is peace and genuine respect for people, fairness, justness, fair play, fair-mindedness, equity, equitableness, impartiality, lack of bias, objectivity, neutrality, lack of prejudice, open-mindedness, and non-partisanship. For basic postulates of justice, first is truth. Is attributed to things that aim to represent reality or otherwise correspond to it with propositions, beliefs, and declarative sentences. Next, the uniform values. These values find their expression not only in the formal law, but also in societal expectations, behavior, and actions. Next, equality before law. Every person is equal before the law and is entitled to the equal protection of the law without discrimination. Next, liberty. The term liberty appears in the due process clauses of both the 5th and 14th Amendments of the Constitution. As used in Constitution, liberty means freedom from arbitrary and unreasonable restraint upon an individual. Next, the impartiality. It is a principle of justice holding that decisions should be based on objective criteria rather than on the basis of bias, prejudice, or preferring the benefit to one person over another for improper reasons. Next, the respect of individuals' ability and capability. Protective discrimination is not injustice, provision of rights, and fulfillment of basic needs. Okay, moving on to the kinds of justice or dimensions of justice. First, legal dimension of justice. This is the narrow concept of justice and is associated with the legal system and the legal procedure existing in the society. The court of law interpret the law and apply the law after hearing the parties involved in a dispute. Here, justice is what is administered by the court of law, and the interpretation of the judge is considered as an embodiment of justice. For the justice in the legal sense requires the following conditions: A. Just and reasonable non-discriminatory laws. B. The administration of justice by free and independent courts. C. Inexpensive judicial process. D. Court procedure should be simplified and avoid delay in justice. And E. There should be a rule of law in the country.
Justice and laws have close affinity with other states. Make laws and implements them in order to establish justice in society. The following conditions are necessary to ensure legal justice. First is justice law. Second is equality before law. Third, uniform legal system. Fourth, impartial and independent judiciary. Inexpensive and efficient justice. Democratic organization of legislative bodies. Political dimension of justice. Nobody should be denied of political rights, and to provide equal political rights is political justice. Following conditions are necessary to ensure political justice. First is universal adult franchise. Second is right to contest elections. Third is right to criticize the government. Fifth is right to form political parties. Right to protest. Right to petition. Respect of human rights. Protection of the interests of political authority should be based on the consent of the people. Democratic system. Special provision of the interests of backward classes and backward tribes. Political justice stands for a free and fair participation of people in the political sphere. Universal adult franchise is the expression of political justice. All liberal democratic countries are based on the principle one man, one vote, one value is faithfully adopted. Political institutions should be representative in character. Third is equality and opportunity in getting elected and holding public office, freedom of expression, association, and rights to seek. Last is the redressal of public grievances are the important pillars of political justice. Social dimensions of justice. Social justice means to give proper opportunities to every citizen in every sphere of life, develop his personality, and to end all types of social inequalities. Following conditions are necessary to ensure social justice. First is equality before law. It means all people equally protected by the law. Second is absence of special rights. Third is prohibition of discrimination. Fourth is to end caste system. Fifth is just distribution of vote. Sixth is democratic government. Just balance, freedom, social control. Social security. Provision of equal political rights. Protection of interests of minorities. And last is abolition of social values. The concept of social justice is based on the belief that all human beings are equal and that no discrimination should be made on the ground of race, religion, caste, sex, or place of birth. Yet it has three implications. First is equal social opportunity. Second is special attention to weaker sections. Third is a removal of social evils. Economic dimension of justice. Economic justice means to provide equal opportunities to everybody to earn his livelihood. It also means to help such people who are not able to work and earn their livelihood. The basic needs of everybody, such as food, cloth, and shelter, should be fulfilled, and the unequal distribution of wealth needed to be stopped. Economic justice implies non-discrimination between man and man in the basics and economic viability. It stands by assuring adequate means of livelihood to all by making provisions of adequate working conditions for equal pay for equal work, fair distribution of resources, equal economic opportunities to all people, etc. The concept of economic justice was emphasized by the socialistic thinkers. Following conditions are necessary to ensure economic justice. Right to work for everybody. Second is fulfillment of basic needs. Third is to reduce wide economic disparities. Protection of the interests of workers from each according to his ability and to teach according to his needs. Just distribution of wealth and of economic exploitation. Special protection of interests of weaker sections. Limited right to property. Question of state interference in economic needs. Fixed economy, specific classes, equal wages for same job. In conclusion, we can calculate that justice is concerned with human welfare and the protection of reasonable interests. It can be experienced only when each citizen will perform his duty in right perspective. A just society is that society where every individual gets legal, political, social, economic justice. For every just society there should be a proper combination among equality, liberal, and justice. There is a close mutual relationship among them. The individual is the subject matter of this concept. That's all. Thank you.